Do you wanna know something that's totally terrifying, but at the same time, totally amazing? Nobody is going to come and save you. I know, it's scary, but you know what's totally amazing about it? Is that nobody's gonna come and save you. You have to do the saving yourself. You have to save yourself. And that's really exciting. Do you know why? Because you get to be your own hero. You get to be your own hero, baby, and that is something really, really exciting and really, really scary. Hey guys, good morning. What's going on? Sarah Hall here, the Wealthy Optimist. You're gonna have to forgive the lighting if it looks a little bit weird because it's dark outside. It's dark outside because it's 7 a.m. and the sun doesn't want to wake up in the winter here in London until about 8 o'clock. So I'm struggling, I'm just saying. Let's get into it. Why is 2020 gonna be any different than any other decade? And how are you gonna make it different? How are you gonna make 2020 different than any other year? Sitting there and being like, oh, I can't wait for 2020. It's gonna be so different this year. So much is gonna change. I hope things change for me. And then not working on yourself isn't gonna change. So I have an insider secret for you because I actually know what 2020 is gonna be like. Are you ready for this? Drum roll. Come closer. Yeah. 2020 is gonna be the same as every other year. Yeah, it's gonna be the same. Do you know what the only thing that's gonna make 2020 any different for you is? If you change. I know. It's the wake-up call we all needed. But it's true. I mean, most of us want to change, but we don't change. You know, we just think about it and we're hopeful and we write lists of things we're grateful for the first 3 weeks of January, and we come up with ideas of what we think 2020 is gonna be like for us, and we maybe sign up for a program, or we sign up for the gym, or we sign up for mentorship, or we buy a new book, and we think we're gonna make all these changes, but then we don't actually apply ourselves and we don't actually make the changes. So guess what happens? Nothing changes. And it's gonna be the same year as 2019 was, or 2012 was, or God forbid 2009 was. I mean, that was bad. But seriously though, if you don't change, then nothing's gonna change, right? So how can you actually make 2020 something that you're gonna be really proud of, something that actually is different, something that changes you, something that, you know, shakes up your life and makes it incredibly different? I have some ideas for you, so stay tuned. Now, the most important thing to remember is that every single year is the same, okay? Every single year, the seasons change, the sun rises, and then what happens? It gets dark again, the tide goes out, you know, we have a little bit extra beach for a minute, and then what happens? The tide comes back in. I mean, these things have been going on for millions and millions of years. Billions, perhaps. My math is bad and my science is bad, so yeah. Let's just say it's been going on for a long time, okay? And since the beginning of time that we know of, things just are the same, and it's not gonna change. The world's not gonna suddenly become this magical place just because you thought really hard about it. I mean, thoughts are good, they're really good, but thinking about it, unfortunately, doesn't work. I know, yeah, it helps, it does help. It gets you into a positive mindset, which is important, but just having good intentions isn't going to make you a millionaire. It's not gonna make you, you know, the fittest person in the world. It's not gonna help you become the CEO of Google. I don't know what your dreams are. Maybe they're very ambitious. I mean, it's not gonna help if you just think about it. You know, you can close your eyes and stand in front of the mirror and envision yourself with the name tag CEO of Google until the sun sets and nothing is going to happen. So, except you probably were gonna get tired or maybe fall asleep if you have your eyes shut for that long. But it's not gonna change you. So you have to start by introducing healthy habits, okay? And you have to pace yourself because you're about to really shake things up, baby. You're gonna change your life and it's gonna be difficult. And you don't wanna overwhelm yourself because here's where people fail. They do too much all at once. They make too many changes and they can't sustain it. So what I want you to do is to introduce healthy habits slowly, You know, pick 1 or 2 healthy habits. Start slowly. You know, you can't just run a marathon. You know, you gotta train for the marathon, because otherwise you'll probably die. Marathons are very long and it's very difficult to run a marathon. I do not know from experience because I have not run one. Although one time my sister ran a marathon and I dropped her off at the start line and I ran with her for like a minute and I was really tired. I mean, marathon running's not for me. Caitlin, you're a rock star. But my point is that you can't just run, you gotta train. So you gotta take baby steps, you gotta implement these changes, you've gotta, you know, stick to your guns about it, you've gotta set those goals and you've gotta slowly accomplish them. You have to slowly accomplish them, 1 step at a time. What kinds of healthy habits can you start off with? Well, that depends on what your goals are. And where's your list of goals? Gotcha, okay, you don't have a list of goals. That's the first problem. If you don't have a list that outlines exactly what you want out of this year, out of this life, out of this decade, it's not gonna happen, okay? I can probably tell you what amount of money you have in your bank account if you don't have a list of goals. And it's not very much, unfortunately. I know, reality checks suck. Do you guys like Evie in the corner? I know, right? She's so cute. I got her at Winter Wonderland. Somebody won her for me. Very cute. And also very difficult to win. So, since you don't have a list of goals, what's the first thing that you're gonna do after you watch this video? Or heck, pause it right now and make some goals. You need to be able to outline what's gonna happen in your life. I mean, if you have a goal to write a book, you need to know the time frame that you want to write this book in. You need to know the outline, the plot. You need to know if you're gonna plot. Maybe you're just gonna, you know, be a pantser where you just fly by the seat of your pants like Stephen King and you're just gonna write it as you go from start to finish. Or maybe you need to write the entire outline, or maybe you just had a thought of the idea of the book. You need to write down these goals and figure out how you're going to achieve them. Breaking down your goals into achievable chunks is the only way to actually make sure that you get it done, okay? And then, I know this seems pretty obvious, but the second part of setting your goals is following those timelines. I know, kind of obvious, but you know what's shocking is that most people don't do that. Most people write their goals and then give up on them. Holler if you've done that before in the comment section below. What's a goal that you made for yourself that you gave up on? I mean, I can list probably 1,000 goals that I have made for myself over the course of my life and been like so gung-ho about it and then just given up. You've got to make those goals. You've got to break them down into chunks. You've got to set yourself up for success. You have to make sure that you're going to get it and get it done. Okay, so if you've got a goal to write a book and you want to get it done in 6 months, you got to set a timeline for every single week, how many words you're going to put on paper. You've got to set those goals. If you've got a goal that you want to lose 30 pounds, you got to set a goal for how many times you're going to go to the gym, how many calories you're going to eat a day, how much water you're going to drink every day. What does your meal prep look like for the week? You know, you have to focus and figure out what you want to achieve. If you've got a goal to pay off a massive chunk of debt, well, how much money are you paying into it every month? What are you cutting out of your expenses that you currently have so that you can put more money towards that debt? It seems so simple, but it's things that people just don't do. And so it's really important to break those down. What are some healthy habits that you can do after you've set your goal list? Healthy habits can be anything from, it depends what you want to achieve, right? So for me, healthy habits include things like waking up earlier. You know, so this morning I woke up at 5:30. I set this little bad boy, my Fitbit Versa 2, to wake me up in between 5:18 and 5:48 at the best time for my circadian rhythm, so that I would not be tired when I woke up. Because if you set your alarm and then you just like wake up, sometimes you wake up in the middle of a sleeping pattern that is gonna make you feel really tired. So that's a really cool thing. I'm gonna do a review on this guy. My work bought this for me and I love it. I had a Fitbit before, but it was just like the little bar one. Yeah, it's way better with the actual watch face and stuff. And it does so much for you. So if you want to get up earlier, that's a great goal because you can get so much accomplished early in the morning. In the mornings, what I do is I get up, I read a little bit. So another way to really broaden your horizons is to read self-help books. I'm a nonfiction writer myself. I also have written some fiction books, I find that reading in the morning should be things that are focused on self-help. I like to read in the evening things that are fiction. It kind of just relaxes me, it's peaceful, but in the morning I like to read something that's gonna make me think, set me up for success for the day. Another thing that I do in the morning is when I'm walking to work, I listen to Audible. Audible is great. This video is not sponsored, I wish it was. What you can do is listen to self-help books on the way to work. I mean, it takes me about 45 minutes to get to work, and I can listen to a book a week easily with that travel. I mean, it's great, and I love it. And so I get a lot of reading done by listening to Audible books on the walk to work. Right now I'm listening to a great book. It's called Rewire Your Brain. And it's great. I mean, it talks about all these different things that we get kind of sucked into. You gotta check it out. But in the mornings right now, I'm reading this guy, which is The Daily Stoic. So these are meditations. And what it is it's literally each day you have a day and then you read it and then you think about it. And what I'm doing is journaling and thinking about it after. Like today's was peace in staying the course. You know, talking about how you have to believe in yourself, trust that you're on the right path, and not be in doubt and start following and steering off direction by just chasing what other people think that you should do with your life. I mean, this is a really good book. It's great. I mean, I think it was like 10 pounds or something. So doing something like that in the morning is a great way to change your life, little by little, step by step. Another thing that you can do if you are not a morning person is read a chapter of a self-help book before you go to bed. I mean, that's much better than staying on your phone. Those blue lights are bad for your brain. They keep you awake. They cause sleeping disturbances. What I've been doing is introducing the habit of I put a lock on my phone so that it's got downtime. So between 7:30 in the morning until 9 p.m. I can use my phone, but after 9 p.m. it just kind of like turns all calls onto silent. It's do not disturb mode, and then I only check my phone if I need to, but it gives me like the peace to really check out. Another healthy habit that you could introduce is locking your phone. So locking your phone, not from like emergency calls, you wanna always be able to make an emergency phone call or something, but you can lock the games on your phones or your social media accounts or something like that and limit them. So I've been limiting mine to an hour a day. And so after that it locks and it needs a passcode to use it. And you know, occasionally you end up using it, but for the majority over the past month that I've been doing that, my screen time has dropped like a crazy amount of time. I also deleted all the games off my phone because I don't need to play games, and instead I'm using Duolingo and I'm relearning Italian because, you know, I was learning Italian for a few years and then I kind of stopped, and now I'm relearning it all. And it's a great way to, I don't know, feed your brain instead of just mindlessly playing Toon Blast or Candy Crush or whatever your, you know, whatever your drug of choice is. A couple other healthy habits that you can introduce slowly are drinking more water. I mean, buy a big like 2-liter bottle and just keep it on your desk, drink more water, bring it with you everywhere, refill it. Make sure you're drinking 2 to 3 liters of water a day. People don't drink enough water. It's something that you can do mindlessly, and it's something you can introduce right away. And having a big bottle that you know that you're refilling, you can see yourself drinking it, just helps to reinforce the healthy habit. Another healthy habit that you can do is to start making healthier eating choices. I mean, eating healthy is good for you even if you don't need to lose weight. Like, I don't need to lose weight, but I still eat healthy because it makes me feel amazing. So, and I don't eat healthy all the time because sometimes I want to eat something that's delicious, you know? So it depends, right? And healthy food can be delicious too, by the way. So meal prepping, making more conscious decisions, maybe keeping track of your calories, keeping track of your macros. All right, I'm really sorry my camera just died. So I had to quickly charge it for 5 minutes because I need to get this done and then I need to get out the door because I gotta go to work. But the thing that I was saying about, you know, tracking everything, some other healthy habits that you can easily introduce into your life are things like watching motivational videos on YouTube or podcasts. practicing a new skincare routine and actually following it religiously. Maybe you can do, daily meditations at night before you go to bed. In my book, which is called Positive Power, it's all about mastering your mindset, so that you can overcome traumas, difficulties, grievances, things that you have really stuck in your life. This will help you kind of break through. Well, definitely will help you break through. It's just 12 steps, it's really simple. And something in there that I did is the easiest meditation in the world, which is really simple to follow. And I'm not big on meditation, and I had a really hard time staying focused and meditating, but you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So those are my tips. I hope that you enjoyed them. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you like watching me, and I would love to hear what you think in the comments. Tell me what some of your goals are. Tell me how you're gonna meet your goals, how you're gonna hit the deadlines. And please take one thing away from this is don't overdo it. Don't overdo it because you'll fail, okay? So don't take on 10 new habits all at once and then try to do them all this week. It's not gonna work. Pick 2 or 3. Maybe if you're really ambitious and think you can stick to it, pick 4, but do them and introduce them slowly. Do that for a few weeks and then introduce more. Okay, set yourself up for success. Keep track of it, write it down, and remember that, baby, if you don't have your goals written down, that equals failure. So write down your goals. And I really hope to hear from you, and I really hope that you have an amazing 2020 and that you change, because the year changed, but that's all that's changing for 2020. Just the date. So you're the one that's gonna make it a different year for you. Okay, baby? I hope you have a beautiful day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.